Daily Broadside, day 881. Today I was in the store and I was getting a drink, and while I was there, I was going through the little aisle there, and I thought I made like a purchase I wouldn't normally make. I decided I'd buy some circus peanuts, the lovable circus peanuts that, much like the Cadbury egg and candy corn, have a very love-hate relationship with the American public. And as I'm buying these, I get them in the car, and I really just bought it because I just forgot what they tasted like. Because I remember liking them as a kid, you know, much like candy corn and Cadbury eggs. I like both of those. And so while I was eating them, I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, how does this company, the Spangler Corporation, or whoever it was, you know, how do they stay in business selling these circus peanuts? Because you never see anybody ordering them. Order them like as a restaurant. I'll have the meatloaf and the circus peanut. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ever gets them, right? They'll go to the store and get a Snickers or a Twix and all the popular stuff. But, you know, my favorite candy bar is the whatchamacallit. You know, there's enough people eating those, although you don't see that very often. But I can understand why people, because it's amazing, right? I like the Zero and the whatchamacallit and the 100 Grand and the Baby Ruth. Those are probably my top four. Although a Butterfinger's pretty good too. But, you know, the Snickers, the Milky Way, the Twix, the top of the line, all the Reese's, the 400 different Reese's. My point is, you never see anybody just like sitting in the park just eating circus peanuts, right? And so I was thinking, I was like, you know, how do they make any money selling these things? And why do the stores, these convenience stores, buy them? You know, they got like 6 of them on the shelf. They're not expired. I checked. Because when you're buying something that odd, you know, you can't just buy like a box of Andy's mints and not like look at the box, because nobody's buying that crap, you know, that stuff. Andy's mints are there for like fish restaurants, you know, you get those little Andy's mints for free at the end of the dinner, a little chocolate, little mint, you know, whatever. Or you get that big orb where you got that long ass spoon with the twirly handle, and you go in there and you try to fish out one of those little white or pink or pastel Easter looking colored mints, and you like jostle it out the little hole of the orb. And they don't have those anymore. I don't know where. I bet Amazon sells one. I'm going to start putting food in that, just let people come over and just fish stuff out. But what was I talking about? Oh, so, yeah, so you never see any people enjoying it. And so I was like, you know, who buys this stuff? And then I thought to myself, I'm buying this stuff. So maybe it's people like me that just once a year, curiosity. I mean, it's 360 million people. If every year, you know, I don't know, what is let's just do the math. Let's say there's 365 million people. That's 1 million people a day if everybody bought it once a year, if I'm doing math right. So, you know, I don't know what the profit on that is, but let's just say they make, you know, $1 off of it. That's $1 million a day. That's crazy when you break it down that way. It's just, I guess there's just so much more. There's so many more people in this world, in this country than you know, you give credit. Then I looked it up, right? A couple things. Number one, the reason that circus peanuts exist is because in 1964, you know, a little guy at General Mills, maybe it was a girl, I think it was a guy, it doesn't matter, an employee like chopped up some circus peanuts and put them on his Cheerios. Lucky Charms was born, which explains a lot, because I'm okay with the circus peanuts. I've never liked the Lucky Charms marshmallows, because they're not marshmallows, they're like hard mellows, you know what I mean? The second thing is, I looked it up, the Spangler Corporation alone they sell almost 4 million pounds of circus peanuts every year I assume in this country, but it doesn't matter, worldwide, whatever. That's a lot of circus peanuts, and yet I can't, other than me today, count on one hand the amount of people I've seen in the last, I mean, I'm gonna go with a decade. I can't think of anybody in the last 10 years that I've ever seen eat those things, except me in a mirror today. It's weird when you think about 4 million pounds. But anyway, you know, it's like all the other weird stuff. You know, the like the tiered, the chocolate, or the brown, white, and pink coconut candy. Stuff's good. Nobody buys it. I've never seen anybody buy those. What is it? Boston baked beans. And then you got those like I don't know what they are, but they look like they're like brown or dark colored, and they're like spike. It looks like a Starburst, or what is it? Starburst? Is that the chocolate Starburst? I think it's a Starburst. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Starburst, not Starburst. That's the flavored candy, the fruit candy. I'm talking about the little like Little Debbie Hostess little Star Crunch. They look like little mini Star Crunches. I don't know what the hell they are. Nobody's ever bought them. I don't know how that company, that must be all new old stock, you know. It's kind of like when Packard went out of business because they took on Studebaker, and they didn't realize how bad Studebaker was in business. It's like some other confectioner took on, they're like, oh, we'll take the Boston Beans with us, and the Boston Beans is slowly just taking them down, you know what I mean? I called my buddy Teeter the first thing this morning, and I said, Teeter, do you think that you will ever, and this is like 7 in the morning, and I said, do you think that you will ever fall in love head over heels with an AI band? And he's like, absolutely not. I'm like, whoa, slow down. I was like, I think that you will. And he's like, no chance. And I'm like, think about it. I said, right now, AI is not smart enough to not be detected. Like, I can listen to it, and I'm batting like 95%. I'm like, that's a real band. That's not a real band. That's definitely AI. That can't be a real band. You know, like, you can still figure it out now, especially the lyrics. The lyrics are kind of, they never make any sense. They're just words thrown on a page. But why would AI not be able to create a song better than any human? You know, they're like Brian Wilson on Speed, right? Because they have all the information. At one point, they will have all the information. When quantum computing comes to you know, fold and all that stuff, and AI is like super dominant over everything, they'll have all the information. And if you have all the information, you'll be able to create great. So I said, I bet you $5 that you will one day be listening to some band, and you'll be like, man, this band is, who is this? And you'll be like, that's Owl Candy, or that's Hippo Spunk, or, you know, whoever it is, doesn't matter. And you're like, man, I really like that. And you're just listening to like Owl Candy in your car. Like, they got like 2 or 3 songs that you're just digging. You're looking for more Owl Candy. And then one day you're like, this is not a real, this is AI. And then you're thrust into the fact that you owe me $5, because that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to get that good in the next, and it won't take long. I mean, it'll probably be like a year and a half, 2 years, and you'll be jamming out to some Hippo Spunk on the radio, and you just won't be, I mean, it'll be like when Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and Nirvana like changed the world in the 90s. You're just like inundated with all this crazy, awesome music, and you're like, what is this? You know, Tool and 9 Inch Nails, all this crap just coming at you. You can't fight it off. You can't fight it off, and it's just there. You know, I think that's what will happen. But anyway, I was at a person's house this weekend, and I asked them. I said, hey, you got any floss I can borrow? Because the floss that I travel with in my little dock kit, right? It's got the little metal hook that you put the floss on and you rip it. You know, that metal hook was broken. It was like the plastic around the metal hook was gone. So I pulled the amount of floss I needed out, and I'm trying to break it and rip it and tear it and chew through it. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know what floss is made out of, but absent a knife or some scissors nearby, you ain't getting. Continuing, you can't rip that stuff. So they bring me some floss, and they hand it to me, and I'm looking at it, and I was like, this floss is expired. And, I was going to care, but then I didn't, because why would floss expire? I don't understand why. I mean, rope doesn't expire, and it's just tooth rope, you know what I mean? Seriously, I realize maybe it's like an FDA thing that you can't make a product that it doesn't expire. You have to put some date, some arbitrary capricious number on it, like, give it 12 years and it'll expire, And if you're running around with floss for 12 years, you got different problems. But, I guess like honey doesn't go bad. I don't think salt does, maybe, but those have expirations on them. So I guess floss is no different. At any rate, y'all have a great day. A giddy.